I'm Ghost Capone from Grave Yard Gangsters. But yeah, I'm a black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and I started that because, I'm white. If I go to the pen and I'm in a cell with another man, it's gonna be either me or you.
For the dime moves in the lokes, for the 6-4s on spokes, for the OGs that did a dime, came back around on parole, for the homegirls with the scrap game, little homies that gang bang, from Pelican Bay to YA, rearrange your mind frame. Yeah, I know what you've been through. Shit you had to go get to. Your mama gave birth on the turf. I know them killers you kin to. This for the lost generation, broke as hell, mad and impatient. But if you know your history, you can't have a strong foundation, baby.
Lift the waistline was on sport and start calling me Big Me.
Six Shakur from Eastside, Bloodstone, Denton by City. Also known as Shady Eyes is my hood name.
Man, the kid ain't got to be put on problem, man. They just do you.
I created Clover Park in my mother's garage.
They call me Tiny Ant from Rolling 60, better yet known as Tylo Tiny Ant.
Start hanging out, start messing with the Bloods, and then I turned to Bloodstone Villain.
And I'm not stupid. I know I'm at a disadvantage. The white boys want it. The blacks aren't gonna like it either. And neither are the essays. So I'm at a triple disadvantage over everybody. So I had to make sure I was prepared,
How long have you been training in that art?
I think like 17 years now. Yeah, I own a gym right here on Pico Sawtell. Yeah, teach the homies. The homies' kids come down, train them. Yeah, all that.
This is good.
Yeah, that's my shit right there. Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. So do you do the whole MMA thing and all
Not
that?
MMA, nah, just Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. I didn't want to get hit in the head and have my brain fucked up and all that shit.
So this is why you're familiar with Ghost and his training.
That's exactly why, yeah. Like, it was like, oh man, he grapples? Like, that's incredible, Like, he's different. He understands, you need to, if we're in this life, you better be prepared for it, because a lot of dudes are just weenies. You don't have to be a tough guy to be stupid and go do some dumb shit,
Let me ask you something. How do you connect with these graveyard guys? What's the backstory behind your relationship with these guys?
Well, I grew up in Santa Monica, playing sports. Like I said, most athletes are usually black. And the essays really didn't like that shit. And they make you choose. If we're all hanging out as friends before gangbanging, we're just kids hanging out, walking home from a party, and then they all come out of apartment with bats and shit. Fuck the N-word, all this. It doesn't matter if I'm white or not. I'm there. They're going to get me too, So I just chose, not to run. I tried to avoid it for a long time. Lil Nut used to beg me to be from the hood. Please, and I'd be like, nah, I don't want to do it, but it just eventually, I got stabbed a gang of times. One time they jumped me and stabbed me a gang of times, and it just kind of went from there, after that.
This is before the jiu-jitsu?
This is before the jiu-jitsu, yeah.
You're a native?
Yeah, born and raised, yeah.
I asked you this off camera, but what did your parents have to say about you gravitating towards the black culture, I guess? The gang street culture.
Well, as far as the color thing, like, it didn't matter. The gang shit, like, that was, in the beginning, it was a little like, yo, what the fuck you doing, man? Like, but then there's no turning back. Once you're committed, and then once, because it's my dad. My mom, I really don't fuck with my mom. But my dad, he didn't like it at first, but then after a while, like, who wouldn't want their son to be a tough guy? And like, they love it. Like, man, my son's out there, like, he's not a punk, And so, and they love the homies. Like, you heard the stories and all that shit. Like, they're going to support me no matter what, right or wrong.
When you went to the county jail, I know you said it was basically you against the world. Did the blacks embrace you, or were they trying to figure what the hell this was about?
I went to the county before I was getting back.
Okay.
So it's like right around that time I just got stabbed, and I was still telling Lil Nut like, man, nah, I'm cool. I want to be a regular dude. So I was with the Woods, but as soon as I jumped in there, I was the Mac rep for the Woods, you know, right away. So I was in the county for like maybe a month and a half, but the blacks respected me, you know, and the essays respected me because I was fresh 18 and already the Mac rep, you know, so it wasn't that bad. I didn't get in no weird beefs or no shit. There was almost a, you know, a little riot over some tattoos. You know how it goes. Some weird shit happens. But other than that, I didn't have no real problems.
Let me tap into your training, your martial arts training, and running with these guys. And I'm assuming that you guys would get into street fights, party fights, and things of that nature. Would you? I guess you would have to use that stuff. Were you able in a position?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I could fight before anyway. Like I could fight before anyway, before the jiu-jitsu. But so what had happened was how I got into jiu-jitsu kind of was I had gotten a fight and I broke my hand. You know, I'm left-handed. I broke my left hand and I had to wipe my ass. I had to learn to wipe my ass with my other hand. You know, and that's, who wants to do that shit, you know? So after that, I was like, yo, I don't want to be punching nobody and breaking my hand all the fucking time. So that's kind of why I started getting into jiu-jitsu. But I have used it for sure in the street. I done ran into enemies for sure. You know, I done ran into an enemy at a taco shop. You know, he had this, fire on him. We get to tussling, choked him right out. You know, the taco guy, oh, let him go, you know. Yeah, I mean, I will for sure. That's what I trained for, to use it.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Santa High for like a year or two, and then I went to continuation school right here in Santa Monica. But then I done moved places too, like, you know, I done lived in Palm Springs. I done lived in Mississippi one time. I lived in New Orleans. I lived in Arizona. So I travel, but I always come home to the hood.
Sitting reminiscing about the days of way back. Big kid, dollar folders, gun holders with the gym on the rollers. Deep the fire, but the dope shots don't make dollars. It don't make sense. Rich, with the color handkerchief hanging up my back pocket. Sitting reminiscing about the days of way back. Rich rolling, never strolling. Same niggas come, the same niggas go.